It's a Central New York showdown. Two teams separated by about 45 miles. Number 9 Syracuse and Colgate going at it. If you hate Mondays, this will certainly cure that. Syracuse, the home team, Colgate on the road. Jesse Cook and Adam Gotkin with you high above the field here in the JMA Wireless Dome. Colgate, the story of the week in the nation, toppling Penn State, the number 4 team in the land, with a goal 4 seconds remaining on the clock from the freshman.
Truly incredible. One of the best upsets that I've ever seen in the sport, and not just a goal with 4 seconds left. Colgate initially turns it over with 13 seconds to go, got the ball back, and then scored.
So Liam Connor had the game-winning goal. He's part of a big Colgate family. His brother Rory on the team. Christian Mule, fresh to the Orange family. The transfer from Lehigh didn't look like a transfer. He looked like he was well-conditioned in the program. A lot of close-up goals, 3 of them, a hat trick.
And he just brings the Syracuse offense to the next dimension. What he can do dodging from X, his skill in front of the net. He is a special player, and he's bringing what was a great Syracuse offense to an elite one.
So maybe 3 goals is elite. I don't know what to call 4 goals. Hunter Drouin, the sophomore for Colgate, had exactly that, plus an assist in the opener on Saturday. But what's more, he only had 7 goals last season. He scores 4 in the opener.
He's just such an impressive player. I love the way that Drouin plays the game. The way that he has a midi invert, scored 3 of his goals from X and 1 from the wing. He's a type of player who looks like an attack man on offense, but he's actually a midi.
And we're getting set out on the field, but Matt Karweck, second game of the season, a big win for him. He only took his team to 2 wins last season, 1 win away from tying that total. Gary Gate on the other side for Syracuse, 3rd year at the helm of the men's squad. Missed the tournament both of his first 2 seasons. This year, maybe a trip there for the first time since he's been a player. Also made it as the women's coach here at Syracuse, and he's 14 years there. Over at X in the center of the field, Syracuse and Colgate start off. Mason Kohn wins the opening draw for Syracuse. Rather, that was Finn Thomson. So the Orange start off, moving left to right. Jake Stevens with the ball to begin things for SU. Also joins his Princeton transfer teammate Sam English. Both of them went to Culver Military Academy. Both of them spent their undergrad at Princeton, and both of them transferred in to Syracuse this season.
Think they like each other, Jesse?
Yeah, maybe, Adam. Who knows? Joey Spallina liked finding the back of the cage in game 1 with 4 goals then. Rather, 3 goals and 4 assists then. Colgate, after a scrum, has trouble turning it around, but finally picks up. The Raiders lost the ground ball game by 3 against Penn State, despite taking the win. Syracuse, a big college turnover.
There's chaos here in the first minute.
A lot of sticks flying, lots of physicality, but Syracuse controlling the possession early. Colgate has had some luck in the middle of the field, but again, we're still very early, just over a minute in.
This Colgate defense is extremely aggressive. They're going to slide very early, so look for Syracuse to move the ball around really fast and rely on that team chemistry.
Mikey Leo had an assist in the opener as well as a goal. Syracuse in front, and Syracuse scores! Big time up the middle. Syracuse takes the lead, and you can watch right in front. Owen Hiltz is a familiar sight for Syracuse, putting the ball in the back of the cage. He was one of Pat March's, the offensive coordinator's top recruits back in 2020, and he follows through really well to open up the scoring.
Yeah, and just what a look there from Joey Spallina. A lot of people talk about what he does scoring. He is an even better feeder, and for Owen Hiltz to score a goal this early. He had some troubles at the start of the last game, a couple bad passes, bad shots, but gets a goal in the first, 2 minutes of this game. That's huge for Hiltz.
Big for Owen Hiltz. You mentioned Joey Spallina. He actually had more assists than goals last season, so you're right. He is better dishing the ball than scoring. 30 of those assists a season ago. That's his 5th on the current campaign. Luke Roa with the shimmy shake on the near side. Syracuse moves in close, blocked in front. The Orange played really well, feeding from behind cage into the slot in Saturday's win to begin the new season. Colgate already let one goal up that way, not making the same mistake with that recent deflection. Well, there's Spallina camping right behind the net. Feet in front, blocked again, and Matt Lacombe got his big stick on it. So Colgate moves out after Syracuse knocks on the door.
Yeah, almost the same exact play there. Colgate's got to make sure that they don't leave Hiltz wide open. He's so sneaky.
Max Yates, anything but open. He gets bowled over, and a flag on the field. Syracuse likely going a man down.
Yeah, that's just going to be a push with possession there on Matt Wright. That's going to be called 10 times out of 10.
Fouls on White, 51, 30 seconds with the push.
So a 30-second penalty against Matt Wright, and you can see it right there. Got him a little bit in the head, more that he checked him in the back with only his numbers facing.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So Max Yates, who scored 2 goals last season, doesn't score there, but maybe can incite some offense. Jack Turner gears up. Will Mark covers it. It hung on the goal line for a second. But the second year in orange for Will Mark starts with a quick bunch of saves at Vermont and an even faster mindset there. Luke Rowe on the near side. That rip misses way wide. Nope. Christian Mule just checked in. There's Joey Spallina. But Mule, wearing number 2, takes it right now. He scored that hat trick on Saturday. Joey Spallina had one as well. A goal and an assist for the sophomore here. Joey Spallina was ACC Freshman of the Year a season ago. And in game number 2, he's got his 8th and 9th points of the year.
Just a defensive breakdown from Colgate. Got stuck substituting. There are about 6 Syracuse attackers there to 2 Colgate defenders. Now what the Raiders are going to do is they're going to employ a 10-man ride, so Syracuse is going to have a lot of chances on the fast break in situations like that. A lot of unsettled chances for the Orange, and they've already succeeded.
Syracuse succeeds. Joey Spallina, the instigator of both goals. One dishing it out, the other piling it in. Mason Kohn in on the faceoff for Syracuse opposite Johnny Hartzell. The sophomore Hartzell had his first career appearance in that opener against Penn State. Won 10 of 21 draws. Colgate pulls away here. But wow, what a strip from behind. Mason Kohn got his stick in the way. That's a cause turnover. Syracuse moves back. Can it be 3? Sam English dishes straight back for Finn Thomson. He adjusted to his freshman season as it went along, scoring more in the latter half of the year, teaming up with Joey Spallina a lot of times. Syracuse moves it behind cage. Quarterbacking with no one around him. Feed up top. Mikey Leo, oh yeah! Second goal of the season for Mikey Leo. Took that about 20 yards out and made it count. Watch here, Leo set up straight away. Spallina had a clear path to him.
That's exactly how Penn State had pretty much all of its success in the first game when they scored against Colgate. Colgate plays so tight on the crease off ball that it leaves those shooters wide open. And with Mike Leo up there, you'll see Luke Rowe getting some shots. It's almost impossible to stop. I mean, look, Matt Lacombe is a great goalie, but that's almost impossible. There's basically nothing you can do because there's just so much power behind that from Leo.
It's almost a guessing game, too. It's like in penalty kicks in soccer where the goalie just has to hope that he gets the right side. Leo went 5-hole, made it work. Syracuse, surprise, surprise on offense again. And here you go, right in front. Tap shot, Mule just misses wide. Syracuse wins the race for the ball, though, so Spallina keeps possession.
Jesse, that was a freshman, Johnny Mullen, who took the face-off there, not Mason Kohn. He looks really good in the opener. I mean, I think he has a chance to, in a couple of years, be one of the best Fogos in the country.
That was a big issue for Syracuse last season. Johnny Lachuza was the main face-off man and ended up with a losing record over X on the season. Syracuse keeps it out of that fray. Roa again, marked by Donnie Tedesco. Owen Hiltz scored the first goal in this game, but it's stripped from him there. Colgate put 2 defenders around him and made it work. Max Gates, who drew the initial penalty, but here comes Syracuse again. Jake Stevens. 3rd goal of the season. He put through 2 in the opener, plus an assist. The Princeton transfer looking really good in just a different shade of orange.
And how about this Syracuse team on the ground balls? They've been so physical. That hit from Luke Roa to just open up the space, and Jake Stevens, I mean, he finishes that 10 times out of 10.
Adam, we talked to Matt Karweck about how to start off against Syracuse, and he said the beginning of the game, you try not to let it affect you the rest of the way, but it is important, setting that first impression. Well, Syracuse has certainly made its mark very early. And speaking of Mark, Will Mark has had very little to do, only 1 save for him on the only shot he's faced. Syracuse has stayed on offense for a long time, as evidenced here as here they go. Wow! Right off the face-off, Syracuse scores again. Carter Rice comes through. 4th career goal, 1st of the season for the junior.
I'm not even sure if Carter Rice meant to shoot it there, Jesse. I thought he was trying to pass it, but somehow that ball finds its way into the back of the net. Just incredible.
Five goals in just over 5 minutes for Syracuse to begin the matchup here against Colgate. 2 goals in 8 seconds, the last 2, and that incited a Colgate timeout. Carter Rice follows through from way back. He was looking for the pass, and Christian Mule just let it go. Syracuse up 5-0 over Colgate. That's why the Orange are a top 10 team in the nation right now. Welcome back into the JMA Wireless Dome with Adam Gotkin. I'm Jesse Cook. There's Carter Rice, 1st goal of the season for the junior. Short stick defensive midfielder. Don't often see him go up on offense, but Adam, it worked out.
Absolutely, and the whole reason for this being a 5-0 game is that the Orange have just dominated at the face-off X. 5 of 6 have been won by SU so far.
Colgate head coach Matt Karweck told us earlier this week that he tries not to think about face-offs because it's what happens after it. There's a ton of chaos with the ground ball battle, but it's how you match up afterwards. Matt Lacombe matched up very well on that play, but Syracuse has been no doubt the dominant team very early on here. Another ground ball pickup for the Orange too. Colgate can't get a clean clear.
Jesse, you wonder if this being the 2nd game in just 3 days affects anything with either of these teams, because so far it just looks like Syracuse just has more juice to them. Colgate down at Penn State back on Saturday, already had to make the trip up. That's not easy.
No, it is not. Syracuse has been at home for both games. Colgate on the road. Sure, Syracuse is just an hour drive from Colgate, but Penn State, that's about 4.5 from either Syracuse or Hamilton, where Colgate sits. Joey Spallina coordinates from behind, whipped in front, but Colgate blocks it. Still having trouble moving out. Sam Erickson draws the flag. Syracuse already went a man down once for 30 seconds earlier. Colgate, of course, did not score, but this will be the 2nd time that the Orange are playing with 10 men.
Fouls on white, number 7, 30 seconds with a hold.
So Mikey Leo, the guilty party.
That's going to be called a hold most times, but if I'm Gary Gate, I'm okay with it, just because the aggression that this Syracuse team has shown on the ride, Colgate hasn't had a chance to get anything going offensively, and that's just because the second that they make a save, the second they get it back, there's about 5 Orange right on the ball.
Well, this was the issue that Colgate faced against Penn State, that the Nittany Lions were really aggressive with those first steps, getting up on the ball carrier, Syracuse working with the same tactic. Colgate just not as fast as it was a couple days ago.
Now in the EMO, you need a goal here. You need a bounce back.
Colgate moves around, still at the near side wing. Rory Connor waiting straight away, coordinating to his left and right. Colgate now tries a shot from straight away, and Mark has it again. 2 saves for Will Mark. Will Mark last season transferred in from Long Island University, was NEC Defensive Player of the Year, transitioned to Syracuse really well. There's a flag on the field here. Mark finished top 25 for the Tewaaraton Award at the end of the season. That recognizes the nation's best lacrosse player. If Colgate touches the ball before Syracuse adds on another goal, then the Raiders will go a man down for the first time in this game. Syracuse, again, playing from behind the cage. Luke Roa tries it, rings the post. The ball ends up out of play. There's the whistle. So Syracuse going a man up, and we'll wait for the referee's signal in a moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if this is a full-time penalty. There was a massive hit laid on a Syracuse player right around the 40-yard line. It was a late hit. It looked a little bit high. This could be a 2-minute non-releasable. Let's see.
14, 1 minute illegal bodies check.
You're right, Adam. 1 minute penalty. Liam Connor going off for the illegal body check. It happened on the Colgate attacking side of the field. Syracuse a year ago, elite on the man up, 39 goals, third in D1 lacrosse at conversion rate. Jackson Birtwistle, who unfortunately for Syracuse is not playing in this game, didn't play in the opener either, was a big instigator for that as well. Close-in shot, and Kohn cuts it off. Strong save for the Colgate netminder. He throws it away through the contact. Joey Spallina arguing his case to the referee, just motioned with his stick to tell him that he was going for the ball, not going for the contact.
Yeah, but any contact between the goalie and a player is automatically going to be a free clear for Colgate. You know, back when I played goalie when I was about 7 years old, that's what I was taught is if there's an attackman on you, just find a way to hit him because you're going to get the free clear.
How would 7-year-old Adam fare against these shooters?
Not great. I quit because I got hit in the arm a couple times. It hurts.
Well, there's a hit in the arm right there. Syracuse knocks it away. Riley Figueres on that Collins turnover, and the Orange move back on offense again. Syracuse is locked up really well, a goal line extended on the defensive side. On offense, it's been every corner of the field in the attacking third. Mikey Leo dishes over, there's a rip. This is wide. Looks like Lacombe got the top of his stick on the ball. Syracuse stays with it because the Orange were closer. Feed behind, but Lacombe telegraphed it. Might be a little late for the goalie to start getting wise, but still 5 goals is not insurmountable. Donnie Tedesco up the middle, bounces it off a body. Figueres got in the way again. Syracuse on the recovery. Will Mark want to move? How do you escape there? That's what made him a great candidate for Team Puerto Rico in the World Lacrosse Championships this past summer. Played 8 games. Syracuse came close there on nearly a 3/4 of the field shot.
And again, Colgate with the 10-man ride. What that means is that the goalie is out of the cage guarding another player. So all 10 players on the field have a man. It leaves the goal open. Sometimes you'll see a team try and shoot it from 70 yards out. Rarely is it successful, though.
Wasn't successful, but you take the chance every now and then. Colgate slowing things down. Hunter Drouin, we talked about him before the game. His 4-goal performance on Saturday. Searching for his first here, and he gets it. Hunter Drouin runs in close and fires it home.
You know, Jesse, I said this in the open. What impresses me most about Drouin is, as a midi, he's able to dodge so well from behind the net. Here, he does it in the traditional midfield spot. Beats a pole as well. Syracuse doesn't slide. And what about that shot there from Drouin? Not a great angle with the left hand, but somehow gets it past Will Mark. Looked like it might have hit Mark's foot, but, you know, either way, it goes into the back of the net, and a big bounce back here for Colgate.
Well, on the first few shots for Colgate against Mark, they tried to go up high. high, so Drouin gets a different approach. Mark cheated towards the top of the cage. Drouin found his space in the 5-hole for the score, so Colgate is on the board. Another win in the face-off for Syracuse. The Orange, for face-offs in this game, have won 6 of 7.
And it's crazy to say that that's what hurt this team last year. I mean, you can make the strong argument that struggles at the X kept the Orange out of the tournament.
No struggle up front there. Finn Thomson responds really quickly. Right after Colgate scores, Syracuse punches back.
6 goals, 6 different goal scorers for the Orange, and you get, again, you see it here, the way that Colgate plays defense, they focus so much on the crease, and that just leaves Finn Thomson wide open. It doesn't matter who it is, you can't leave anyone that open because that's a goal 10 times out of 10, and now Colgate's focusing so much on the crease because of how the Orange scored the first couple of goals with Hiltz in front of the net. It just shows the versatility of this SU offense, that they can really do it in any way possible.
They can do it in any way possible, but if you end up straight away one-on-one with the netminder, that's not exactly finding something creative. Syracuse going old-fashioned for a lot of these goals, going back to the basics and making it work with a clear shot.
Jesse, something really interesting of note here. Matt Wright has been the one at LSM pretty much this entire game. We haven't seen much Saam Olexo. He is dressed, he is standing right next to Gary Gate and the other LSMs, but it's been Wright, the UNC transfer.
Syracuse in close can't come up with it, so if Colgate can clear, then Matt Wright will get another test. Well, Colgate doesn't clear, so he can lay back for a moment or two more. Rick Roa up top. Wyatt Hoddle playing out there for Syracuse as part of the attack.
He's just 5'7", 150 pounds, but one of the fastest players you'll ever see.
Hoddle, of course, comes from an athletic family. His dad was a head football coach at Stevenson University out in Maryland. A lot of these players from that area. Maryland, of course, a lacrosse hotbed.
And
historic home field at Johns Hopkins out there. That shot misses high. Kohn got his stick on it.
Saying Hoddle being from Calvert Hall and coming to Syracuse is big because usually you see a lot of their top guys go to UNC with the Kelly family, they go to Maryland, but to get one of the Calvert Hall players in Syracuse is a big deal.
Wow, Joey Spallina, no look again. We saw that exact image plenty of times last season. Well, welcome back to a new year of lacrosse. Prime form for the sophomore.
He's just sensational. You can't put into words how good of a player Joey Spallina is because he can do it all. He senses that the defender kind of has a stick right near his hands, so he moves him behind the back, gets his hands free, and the power on the behind the back shot, it's not just that he gets it off, it's that he gets it off so fast that Kohn can't even react to it in time.
Human highlight reel, 5 goals on the season, also 30 on his still young career. Joey Spallina, one of the fastest scoring players around, potted that on a quick turn. Syracuse runs out of the draw. The Orange will get another one, but quickly give the ball away. Sam Erickson drops back for Michael Keeley. Moving over to Jacob Sposita, Michigan native. It was fun watching the U of M team last year make that run. That's becoming a very good area for lacrosse in the country. Colgate playing right on that restraining line. Hunter Drouin again. Same spot he scored that first goal, but this time he relents. Enduring a whacking from Matt Wright.
Colgate found most of its success against Penn State when dodging on shorties. So far, it's been only on the long sticks.
And Drouin just took a hefty hit from a long stick. Colgate closer to the ball when it exited the field of play, so the Raiders stick with it. Rory Connor starting off. Native to Manhasset, New York. That's the music stand capital of the world. Shot misses wide. It's a shame that you don't see a lot of the Syracuse marching band here because he would be right up their alley.
I wish they had it. You know, Hopkins has the band. It'd be awesome if Syracuse had one also.
Syracuse may not have the band here, but the defense certainly tall to the task. Carter Rice, who scored already for Syracuse, his first goal of the season, sent that away. Colgate moves back with it. Feels like in the latter half of this first quarter, the Raiders have started to get a little more comfortable out there. It took Hunter Drouin scoring that first goal, but the Raiders have had a little bit more control of late.
Yeah, and this is really important just to give your defense a break. Playing defense is one of the most tiring things to do in this entire game, and they've been playing defense pretty much the entire way, so just to take some time off the clock, pretty much went fully into the shot clock last time out, and now, again, taking the time here.
Connor having trouble moving in close, blocked away, and he falls down. Colgate sticks with it, but the Syracuse defensive line has strung up close plenty of times. Not there, though. Liam Connor rebounds. He took a tumble. This time he gets back up and scores.
Nice job there from the man at X, Minicus, or sorry, that was actually, yeah, that is Minicus at X to find the open guy in front. That's so important because this is an unsettled situation. Syracuse trying to figure out what just happened, and they find the open man. That's Liam Connor, who had the winner against Penn State. And it just feels like Colgate, you said it, finally starting to, you know, get into this game. They went down 5-0 early, but since then it's 2-2.
Connor evens it up of late, like you said, but it's still a 5-goal deficit. Colgate steadily trying to work back. Face-off violation there against Mason Kohn, so Colgate takes it. Connor, like you said, he scored the game winner against Penn State on Saturday. That was his first career goal. Promising start for the freshman. But Matt Wright hacked the ball away, and he's off for another penalty. Flag on the field, second time that Wright is headed off and Syracuse is going a man down. The grad student transferred in from UNC.
White, 5-1, push, 30-second technical, reset the shot clock to 80.
And they get right with the push there after it looked like it was a pretty good hit on the stick. It was the push first, and then he gets the ball out. It's the second penalty already on Wright. And again, it's been mainly Wright in the game so far. No Saam Olexo, the preseason All-American.
Well, maybe that's a part of the early season tests for Gary Gates' crew, trying to see who can work at which role. Syracuse likely going a man down again at the next stoppage, or if the Orange collect the ball. Anytime you can hear the collision, you sort of expect that somebody did something a little askew. Jack Turner gives it away, and Colgate, again, sends it out, so we'll wait for the call in just a moment, but multiple flags out there after Syracuse got physical.
White, 1-7/1 minute. Reset the shot clock to 60.
Just such an interesting, there's just such an interesting thing here with this Syracuse man down unit. An entirely different group of players on the field compared to the normal defense. So no Riley Figueres. You don't have your Caden Coles, your Billy Twans. They completely switch it out. And they struggled a little bit at times last game, but looking good so far. They're going to have a test to start the second quarter.
So that ends the first quarter. Syracuse dominating 7-2. Goals as fast as 2 and 8 seconds. 7-2 the score. Keep watching on ACC Network Extra. Syracuse dominated early on with 5 goals in just over the first 5 minutes, but Colgate answered back. Hunter Drouin scored his team's first goal, and he's got a remarkable story. When he was 2 years old, he was diagnosed with pediatric cancer, and now, a long time later, after surviving that episode, he has started a charitable fund. Colgate has contributed $15,000 and counting to his cause to fight pediatric cancer, $10,000 from his own contributions, canvassing alumni, canvassing people all over the world to raise money for it. And there he is, living out his dream of playing college lacrosse. Derry, New Hampshire native, comes in as a sophomore to this game. He scored a career best 4 goals in the opener on Saturday. A long way from those young pictures we saw, and a little bit of a bigger grin, although he seemed like he was pretty happy throughout all of those, keeping up his confidence and keeping that smile.
You're just so happy for him. You hear about his story, and he really now just dedicates his life as being a role model for kids who are going through what he went through when he was younger. He says, you know, if I can do this, anyone can do anything.
Colgate answering back. That was Drouin just with the ball. Syracuse blocks it up front and sends it sky high. Colgate sticks with it. Drouin waiting out at the right wing. There he is. He tries it, but Will Mark covers up. Drouin shared those pictures we saw a few moments ago with our ACC Network Extra crew. And we said he was happy to spread the word. Lacrosse is a game all about those causes. I always think about the 15 for Life game that you see every year.
Yeah, it's one of the things that really makes this sport so special. It's the creators' game. And for, you know, the current players, the former players to all give back to the community, it is really one of the core principles of lacrosse.
Syracuse back at even strength. That flipped up high. Colgate comes back with it. Aiden Murnane grabbed the ball, leaping in thin air. Matt Lacombe was ready behind him, but Lacombe has an easier time grabbing that with the larger net in his stick. Lacombe with the long stick had to really get up there.
That's an awesome look.
Or Murnane, rather, with the long stick really had to get up there. Colin Ruppenstein, the senior, finally gives it away. Ruppenstein still searching for his first goal of the year. Rory Connor, can he add on to his brother's work? Stays with it and finds the back of the net. So his younger brother scored Colgate's finishing goal to the first period, to the first quarter, and in the second, he comes up with his own.
And how in the world did he just do that? When he's faced the double team from Saam Olexo, he's got a stick in his hand, somehow spins, finds space, and gets that one past Will Mark. Just an incredible play here, an incredible goal to absorb the contact, use that to create room, and then the little fake as well to get Mark low and then shoot it high.
Connor found that room with the dodge around Carter Ice, and it just happened at a perfect time for Saam Olexo to come through and miss. Gave him that moment. It was maybe half a second to make that decision, but sometimes that's all you need. Colgate starts out with the ball again. After that scrum, the Raiders pull free with it. Syracuse on the turn. That's Billy Drouin. Up the orange, throw it away. Colgate ball.
Almost first assist of the career for Billy Drouin. He thought he had his first last game, but it got taken away because of a review. Drouin in transition is going to be really something to watch this year. Yes, he threw that pass high, but I think that's going to take his game from being a good defender to being a great defender, one of the best in the ACC, because you just look at his size and you think this guy can do some special things, but now that he's able to run the length of the field as well.
That's Jack Turner. Spin cycle move, flips it behind. Colgate with a chance, then Syracuse jabs it away.
You just got to go quicker. You have an open man. Give it to him right when you see it.
That shot misses wide across the goal mouth. Caden Cole was the first defender on that play. Colgate sticks with the ball. He got in close, but was turned around. Colgate another chance, another goal. Jack Turner, top right corner. Third goal of the season for the junior. He comes through at a big time. Colgate closes a once 5-goal gap to now 3.
Yeah, just a good look there to start things off from Liam Connor, and then the perfect placement on that shot. There's simply nothing that Will Mark can do about it. To get it into the top right corner, as Mark is trying to move over, he just doesn't have the time to get his stick in the way. A perfect shot.
Timeout called. Syracuse needs to regroup. Colgate, 2 goals to open up the second quarter. 7-4 the score here on ACC Network Extra. Sometimes it takes a few moments to get the engine going, but Colgate 3 straight goals to get back in this game, and they need 3 more to tie it up.
Jesse, this might sound a little bit crazy, but to score goals, you have to have possession, and that's been the difference here to start this second quarter. The Raiders are being better on defense to give themselves the chances on offense, and then when they have it, being aggressive, going to goal right away, not taking time, because when you're down by as much as you are, you got to go quick.
Colgate certainly has been operating quickly. 3 straight goals, 2 of them to open up this second quarter. Jesse Cook with you. To my right is Adam Gotkin. And these guys on the field are going at it really hard. We've seen a lot of physicality in this one. A big problem for Colgate so far has been ground ball battles. Syracuse winning that 20-8. Syracuse also winning the game because of moves like that, although usually the ball ends up in the net.
Oh, and they're going to call that a pass, not a shot. And Gary Gates on the field because he disagrees. Stevens, it looked like he backhanded it towards the net. There was no one really behind Cage, and so now the referees are going to change their decision and say, okay, he did try and shoot it.
Yeah, you can see Gary Gate happy about that, clapping his hands. That was Jake Stevens on the shot. Piled in a couple of goals in the opener. Stevens today also has 1. Mikey Leo tried to flip it behind his back, but you have to wait till the ball's in your stick to actually make the shot. Colgate turning it around in transition on that far side. Rory Connor with the ball. He moves over to Charlie Lohman. First time we've really seen the Georgia native moving this one. Lohman just 1 career goal. Jacob Sposita sets the tone and slows down, marked by Landon Clary. On the near side, it's Michael Minicus. Set up that Liam Connor goal at the end of the first quarter. There he was operating from behind the net. Now they've moved him out up top. Hunter Drouin, 1 goal already for him. Scored 4 in the opener. We've talked about that a lot, and it's because of dodge moves like that. He has trouble getting around Riley Figueres, but that's how he scored that first goal for Colgate. A small shimmy in close. Figueres all over him. Drouin in close, air mails it over the net. Colgate wins the battle. One second on the shot clock, nowhere near enough time. So Syracuse, although the Orange lost the foot race, have possession of the ball. Adam, it looked like Colgate had a lot of good chances there, just couldn't get the right formula in front.
Yeah, really good defensive possession there from Syracuse. And look, a steal right away there from Colgate. That's exactly what you want to see on the 10-man ride.
You just saw it on your screen. Syracuse hasn't scored in almost 8.5 minutes. Colgate 3 goals in that time. The most recent Syracuse goal was that filthy no-look shot from Joey Spallina, but that's been the high watermark for a while. Will Mark scoops it up and sends it out. Billy Drouin scored on Saturday in the opener. Spallina's fire across, that shot blocked away. Kohn covers up between his legs. He got his foot in the way of any attacking sticks, and he stays with the ball.
Just a heck of a save there from Matt Kohn, because Owen Hiltz had all the room in the world, and it's hard to find a better sharpshooter in the country than Owen Hiltz.
That's what brought Hiltz to Syracuse. Offensive coordinator Pat March liked what he saw, seeing him in games at Culver Military Academy out in Indiana. He liked his shot selection. Colgate can't find its shot. Will Mark ran out of the crease to attack that ball. Syracuse motors across midfield. Landon Clary, his 1 career assist came in the big win over Duke almost 2 years ago in that 4-10 Syracuse season. He strung it up the length of the field to Tucker Dordevic, who most recently played with Georgetown, but Dordevic had that flying no-look between the legs goal that ended up as the #1 play on SportsCenter for weeks.
You know your eyes don't deceive you. Clary does have a short stick this year. Started off as an LSM, then switched to close defense, and now playing the short stick defensive midi position. One of the few carryovers still here from the Desco regime. And Landon Clary has just been a true leader on this squad. And for him to switch position 3 times, that's not an easy thing to do.
And Colgate head coach Matt Carwick didn't mention Clary by name, but he said that the eras are very different. There's not a lot that sticks around from the Desco era to the Gate era. Same prestige, different coaches, different teams. Waiting for the call here after that flag. We'll get it to you in a moment.
It's going to be a cross check. Hoddle takes a lot of big hits. You see the 5'7" guy.
Balls on red number 2. 1 minute cross check.
So you're right there on the cross check. Donnie Tedesco, the guilty party, the junior out of New Jersey, caught him right there at the end of his shot. Or rather at the beginning of his shot, got his stick up to his helmet.
It's hard to play defense against a guy like Hoddle who's so small because you think you're hitting him in the chest, but no, that's, up by his head, and that's why it's called. If that hit is right at, his midsection, I don't think the flag is thrown.
Then Thomson's shot missed high, hit one of the nets protecting the tunnels that these teams run out of before the game.
Keep your eye on the top left of the Syracuse formation. The freshman in Tucker Kellogg, one of the fastest shots you'll ever see, clocked at over 115 miles an hour.
Kellogg flips it back, geared up for what looked like a tough shot, but flipped it away. Syracuse having fun with the behind-the-back no-look passes. Spallina sends it for Hiltz, drop pass back for Thomson, he hit the post.
That was a beautiful look there from Spallina. Cross crease and then the extra pass up, but just hits the post.
Syracuse so deceptive with those fakes. Spallina, nothing deceptive about that. Clear-cut hat trick. Second game in a row with 3 goals for Joey Spallina. Syracuse has a tradition around the number 22. You wait for a generational talent to wear it, and that's exactly who Joey Spallina is playing like, a generational talent.
Well, Spallina feeds it down low to Hiltz earlier in the possession. They hit the post, and then it just goes the exact opposite way. Hiltz to Spallina on the cross field, and Joey's going to score that 10 times out of 10. Already his 6th goal this season in just 2 games.
Syracuse coordinates well on the man-up opportunity. Last season converted over 56% of the time on the advantage. Doesn't look like anything's really changed here in 2024.
Jesse, what has changed is that Jackson Burtwhistle is still hurt. He was the guy who scored a lot of those extra man goals, but he's not even on the field right now, still nursing an injury.
That's right. Syracuse down a couple key attacking players, midfielder and attacker Max Rosa, also, like you said, Jackson Burtwhistle. Rosa, of course, off the field, injured out for the season. Burtwhistle, we've heard, could be any day now. He was questionable before this one. But you're right, last year, not just Syracuse's most important player on the man-up, he led the nation with those 11 goals. Hunter Drouin slows down the pace of play and gives back for Rory Connor. Like many players on both these teams, in high school he was a USA Lacrosse All-American. Moving right around the goalie circle, turnaround shot, right idea, it skipped over mark but wide. You're seeing Jake Spallina out there now. Saw a little bit of, well, we'll call him Joey's brother in game 1. Both Jake and Brett Spallina joined their older brother. The younger sister, Alexa, will join the women's team. It's a family affair in Syracuse, although the dad, Joe Sr., is the head coach at Stony Brook for the women's lacrosse squad. We heard all about that last season when Joey started to light things up. Feed to the near side, sidewinding shot misses above the crossbar. Jack Turner scored once already, tried to find the top shelf again.
Yeah, but that's the look that you want. You have an open shooter just over the bar, but you're okay with that. That's perfect. That's the looks that can get you goals in this game.
Jake Spallina, an aggressive move, put his cradle right in the chest of Michael Minicus. Scampers away from Ryan Favaro, picks it up again, Colgate in front, Colgate scores! Flag on the play, the Raiders come through, Griffin Walker has his first career goal. The junior out of Orlando, Florida, muscled through the contact.
Finding a way to get a goal in unsettled situations like that is what can keep games
33
close.
right, 1 minute slash. 33, 1 slash.
Caden Cole guilty of the penalty, a 1 minute slashing call, but Colgate another one. 3-1 the score Colgate in this quarter, although the Raiders still trailing by 3 in the game.
I mean, call it what you want, call it luck if anything, but somehow that ball finds the open man in front. And look, this is a Colgate team that is staying in this game, and now a man up, a chance to make this a 2-goal game.
Griffin Walker celebrating there. He may want to save that ball. First career point with that goal. So that's a big moment for the Bismarck Raiders squad. They take the face-off. Hartzell right through. He took a few checks from behind. Colgate wins a foot race for the ball and stays with it. But that's a bad sight for the Raiders. Hartzell, your main face-off specialist, in a little bit of pain. Let's take another look at how it happened. Right from behind, John Mullen went airborne for the tackle, but made some incidental contact, and Hartzell took the brunt on the back end of that play.
Yeah, that's just gonna really knock the wind out of you. A massive hit there. It looked pretty clean to me. Talk about that diving trail check to knock that ball out. It wasn't the hit that got the ball out. It was the trail check before that initially got the ball loose. And that's just, things that you love to see. That's the extra kind of, how about this, pumping up your teammates, but it's this all stuff. It's the sport of lacrosse. What makes this sport so special is the fight of these players, the diving, and now, you're hurt, you get up and you pump up the crowd.
Yeah, that's what you love to see. Guy goes down, an important player to the roster. It looks like it could be serious, and he's okay. So that's really promising to see.
And again, I think he probably just got the wind knocked out of him there because that was a hard hit.
Hey, he's a lacrosse guy. It's what it's all about. What's the Rocky quote? It's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and get back up. That shot misses wide. Colgate stays on the attack. Man up for the next 35 seconds. Syracuse has not allowed a goal when a man down, including what is now 2 full-minute penalties. Jack Turner, 1 goal already. Connor's shot, oh yeah! What was a 5-goal deficit is down to 2. Rory Connor has his 2nd goal of the quarter, 2nd of the game, and 3rd of the year.
Colgate has gotten those looks on pretty much every single man-up opportunity. It's just Will Mark has been incredible, and they can't find the cage, but that time, just a perfect shot from up top with the left hand. Rory Connor beats Will Mark. First man-up goal of the night for the Raiders, and as you said, it's a 2-goal game now.
That is huge for Colgate. Rory Connor was 6th in the Patriot League in goals per game a season ago, right around 2.3. Has not skipped a beat going into 2024. Scored 1 goal on the man up at Penn State, so that's his 2nd goal on the advantage this season. Syracuse right out of the face-off controls. Face-off battle in this one heavily favors the Orange, 11-4. SU cycles in some new hands. Finn Thomson back in the game. John Mullen, who we talked about for that diving trail check to free the ball up before Hartzell suffered that near injury on the check. Mullen through the contact. Remember, Syracuse started this game up 5-0. Joey Spallina already has a hat trick. Scored 2 goals in the first, 1 here in the second. That shot sails way too high. Anytime you can hear where the ball lands, that generally tells you it wasn't a goal. Mullen off the pick. His shot scooped away. Matt Lacombe down on a knee. Colgate cleanly clears out. Max Gates, wow, what a hit. Syracuse answers right back, but it's chaos out of midfield. 2 turnovers, now 3 in the span of just 10 seconds. Flags on the field. Everybody take a breath. Let's wait for this.
16 red, 1.
So directly after Colgate scores a man-up goal, Syracuse gets the advantage. Matt Karwak pleading his case to the referee, saying that's not okay, man. So that's Patty Eldridge off to the penalty area. Scored 1 goal in Saturday's upset win. The Raiders trying for a little more of that magic, but they need to survive a 1-minute man-down opportunity.
And for Syracuse here, you got to get the lead back up to 3, back up to 4 going into the half, because again, you're up 5-0 to start this game.
Syracuse trying to retake that mojo. Tucker Kellogg's shot, saved by Matt Lacombe. Did he change what he was drinking in his Gatorade bottle? He really struggled out of the jump, but since then, Lacombe has made saves on 7 of 9 shots. Whistle there, timeout called. Colgate takes a moment to reset. The Raiders were down by 5, now down by 2. This has been a physical game, to say the least. A lot of really hard-hitting plays, and that's what's helped Colgate stay with this.
Yeah, this is what you want to see. This is New York State lacrosse. You hear everyone talk about it when you got 2 teams from upstate playing each other. It just means more, and that's exactly what we've got in this game. Hard hit after a hard hit. I mean, you can just hear it from up here.
Well, we saw Jack Turner get hit the play before. That was Johnny Hartzell before the brief pause. But Turner, after he suffered that hit, scored. Hartzell, after he got knocked down and struggled to get back up, regained his breath and started hyping up the Colgate crowd.
Lacrosse players are a different breed of human. You know, as a former one, it's hard to explain how it is just because of...
If he breaks a double, you got clear through, that's fine. But Reed, they're probably going to switch. He might refuse it and be wide open. Hang on and try to get Rory in middle behind. Mike, go.
Just going back to it, lacrosse players are special because they can take as many hits as you throw at them, and they'll just pop right back up 95% of the time. These hits are similar to what you see on a football field. The padding is way less. I mean, you know, in football, you got the big, bulky pads. Lacrosse players, they got a tiny little chest protector in those helmets, but they jump right back up. They hype up their teammates. It's just one of the things that makes this sport so special.
It's special for a lot of reasons. We talked about the causes earlier. It's special because of the grit of these players. We heard Colin Monroe, one of the defensive coordinators for Colgate, talking to his team about how to deal with when Syracuse switches on the ball carrier. The Orange so far have had a lot of ease when passing the ball. Colgate is laid back. Adam, maybe after that conversation, we see the Raiders try a different approach and try to step up. Of course, Matt Karwak told us that his strategy is to let the players play and let them figure it out on their own.
Yeah, I think the exact quote was, the players play, not the coaches. So he trusts his guys. He gives them the direction and then says, I believe in you. I recruited you for a reason. Now show me.
He also said that during practice, he does not use the word should. He uses the word could. Lets the players decide what they think their potential is and what they can live up to, not what they should be trying to do. Hunter Drouin more than lived up to his potential on Saturday, trying again after he scored Colgate's opening goal. Saam Olexo cut him off there. Olexo, who has been a staple on the Syracuse starting lines for a long time, seems like every year of college for Olexo, the senior out of Annapolis, Maryland. Syracuse in close, but Spallina just a little bit wide. Owen Hiltz was right around the ball when it exited the field of play, so it stays Orange possession. Hoddle out up top, plays pitch and catch with Jake Stevens on the near side. The Princeton transfer scored once already today. Wow, what a hit. That is for sure a penalty. Christian Mule takes Garrett Wire right up around his shoulders.
Yeah, there's no question about that one. Got him up really high. And Mule still saying, what was that for? Because that is close to as nasty of a hit as you'll see in lacrosse. You see Mule still going at him. I mean, he has a right to be upset because that is as high as it gets and as hard as it gets too.
And you could hear a few encouraging words, relax, on the sideline there. Charlie Lohman with the hit there.
We're gonna review it. Hey, you guys gotta back up. Clear the box, guys. Clear the box, please.
So the referees are going to talk this one over. Take a look at this official review. Cleared everyone out of the penalty box area to make sure they've got enough room to see the play on the monitor, talk to both head coaches, talk to the other officials during the process. Adam, it looked like a pretty vicious hit. Here's another look. You can see that right arm wrap right around the throat. So maybe this isn't a question of what is the penalty, it's how severe is the punishment.
Yeah, I think the question is Charlie Lohman going to stay in the game or not? Because it's not the initial hit that got him, as he said, it's the wraparound. It's the fact that you see he kind of takes that left hand off his stick and just straight up wraps him and just drags him to the ground. Referees are seeing the same thing that we do. Here's the call.
9 red, 2 minutes, direct contact to the head, full-time serve.
Wow, so that's almost the rest of the half. A man down for Colgate. What's been a fantastic quarter for the Raiders, outscoring Syracuse, suddenly doesn't seem so great. Colgate started off this quarter with 2 straight goals, answering up to 3. They've outscored Syracuse 4-1 in the second. And that's the type of play that just flat out kills momentum.
A complete flip of the script here for Syracuse compared to the last game. Scored 3 goals in the first quarter, 9 in the second. Now things are just kind of starting to fall apart.
Right in front, well, Kohn keeps his team in it with a solid stick save. Colgate huddles to him. Kohn way out of his cage, running with that. Joey Spallina with the defensive move on him.
What a play there from Kohn. The steal and then to evade Joey Spallina, get it to an open man, and now a chance to just get some time off this penalty. You're not going to clear the whole thing with it being 2 minutes most likely, but give yourself a bit of a break.
Patty Eldridge went ocean to ocean there, but that pass ticks up too high. Off-ball hit. You can hear the contact of the chrome helmets for Syracuse and the matte orange and the matte maroon for Colgate. Stevens takes on the skip pass. Watch Billy Drouin, 35. He got in close beyond the restraining line. Syracuse calls timeout to sort themselves out. It's been just over a minute on the man-up opportunity and very little offense. So Gary Gate wants a moment to figure things out here.
Yeah, I think that there's just some frustration here with this Syracuse team because it was so easy at the start. 5 goals right away. Boom, you're up. You got a massive lead. But now Colgate has made this a game. I said this before, but you got to get a bigger lead going into the half, and a perfect chance here with the man up. But just talk about Matt Lacombe, how special of a half that he has had. The local kid from Fayetteville, New York. That's what, about a 5-10 minute drive east of here. Now coming back, playing in the Dome. He dreams of playing in this Dome.
So Matt Lacombe, after he let up 5 goals and 1 save and turned it around, here's the Syracuse huddle.
Okay? Perfect. So bang the ball here. Your guy's going up. Tucker, step to the ball. Okay? You can drag him over a little bit more. 23, you're you're fine with there too. See what the excellence in there. Put that thing in the back of the net. I know you got it.
Come on, Tom. Here we go. Let's go.
So that's Syracuse offensive coordinator Pat March drew up a play what sounded like for Tucker Kellogg.
Yeah, and I think because that's what this Syracuse team has always done on the man up is you find your best shooter up top and let it rip. We saw a little bit different there on the last shot with Jake Stevens playing on the crease and having a chance there. But, you know, I think with just how fast of a shot that Tucker Kellogg has, you have to take advantage of it at every chance possible. I mean, this kid was shooting over 100 miles an hour in middle school. He's got a chance to one day have the fastest shot in the world. The 115 mile an hour that he shoots now, about 10 years ago, would have been the world's fastest shot. It just says how special he is, how strong he is. The power, it's almost impossible to stop. His last one went right into the body of Lacombe, so let's see if he can maybe just, you know, get it on the ground or get it into one of the corners.
Kellogg's someone who just throws himself into the lacrosse game. He strings sticks in his free time, which is its own enduring process. Kellogg waiting at that left wing. Owen Hiltz with the ball now. Joey Spallina stifled in close. Tried to tell the referee that that ball was in, but the man in zebra stripes says no.
Gives you flashbacks to last year.
Gives you flashbacks to the review that went against Syracuse on Saturday. Saam Olexo for the goal. Bounces it in, man up in transition, and Syracuse is back in the score sheet. 9-6 the score. Saam Olexo has a rip like that once in a while, and he piles it in, 9th career goal.
Talk about just taking advantage of the opportunity. Olexo's not going to be on the field as much this year as he's used to. I mean, he played close D for most of last season, but now back to the LSM position with Matt right in there as well. So you got to play your A-plus game the entire time you're on the field. Go 120% because you know that you have some other guys who can step in and just to go 100% speed. That's what's going to win you games, and that's what's going to get you goals. Also, by the way, Michael Leo has just gone in on attack.
This is true. We saw him try a few shots earlier on in the first quarter. Leo already scored 1 goal in this game. 2 shots total. Syracuse still on the advantage for about another 10 seconds. Of course, there's not much more time left in the quarter as well. 10 seconds to halftime. Syracuse in full control of the ball. Tucker Kellogg, and it's just too fast, too high. And Colgate picks up the ball, likely cycling out the last few seconds of the first half. Ups and downs for both sides. Syracuse has the lead thanks to that 5-goal start and the recent Saam Olexo goal, but Colgate wins the second quarter 4-2.
Yeah, just about as perfect of a start as you could ask for Syracuse. After that massive win for Colgate back on Saturday against number 4 Penn State, you wondered if maybe that was just some magic, but no, this is a Raiders team that can compete with the best of the best.
And we've got Syracuse head coach Gary Gate mic'd up. Coach, you have the lead, but Colgate surged back in the late minutes of the second quarter. What changed?
You know, they just they play with a lot of energy and a lot of heart, and I tell you, they don't give up. They've been doing a great job of knocking down passes and pressuring us when we're moving the ball, and we just got to clean up the turnovers. You know, we're clearing the ball over center, and then it's just a simple pass, and we're making the mistakes, and we're giving the ball back to them. And this team's tenacious, and they're not going to give up.
All right, Coach, thank you. Good luck in the second half. Syracuse leads Colgate 9-6, a barn burner in central New York. Any which way it could go, can Colgate nab its second-ranked win, or will the Syracuse Orange be 2-0? Find out in a bit. Back out of the tunnel, the Orange scored just 1 goal on a 2-minute man-up opportunity, so they need a lot more momentum. Colgate had all the chances in the second quarter, outscoring Syracuse 4-2. But it's a brand new half and still a 3-goal lead for the home crowd.
You got to give all the props in the world to this Raiders squad to not get discouraged after going down 5-0 early. I mean, this Colgate team has shown all the heart that you ever want to see, all the fight. I mean, just the hard hits that we've seen in this game. That second quarter was incredible in just every way possible.
You saw a shot of Rory Connor a few moments ago. 2 goals. He's Colgate's leading scorer in this game. Notched his 50th career points with those pair of tallies. Second half action about to get going. Mason Kohn and Johnny Hartzell over X. Kohn wins the draw. We saw Hartzell take a nasty fall earlier, exited the game, but glad to see him back on the field. Hate to see guys get injured this early in the season. Mason Kohn has been a gift for Syracuse in the face-off X in this one. Already won 10 of 16 tries out there at the middle of the field. Kohn in the last game went 16 of 24. Came in from Division III Tufts. Syracuse camped out from behind the net.
He's got
plenty of time.
Open.
Adam, you just said he had no one open. That was evidenced very clearly right there as Colgate got in the way of what earlier in the game was seemingly an easy pass up the middle.
No shot clock reset there.
Yeah, Syracuse, quick time. Kohn comes up with the save. Point blank range, he took down Mule.
He is single-handedly keeping his team in this game. Incredible save after incredible save. That might be the best one of the night so far.
Christian Mule scored a hat trick on Saturday. He's a fearsome competitor that close. That's where he did all his damage. No problem for Matt Lacombe, his 9th save of the day. Backed into a corner, Donnie Tedesco couldn't hold on. Saam Olexo on the swipe. Rather looks like Tucker Kellogg out there doing it on both ends. Joey Spallina coordinating from that far wing. Already 3 goals for the sophomore. Wyatt Hoddle, the freshman out of Winslow, Maryland. Rather, out of Westminster, Maryland. Luke Roa gears up with the ball. He scored a hat trick in the opener as well. Deflected pass. Aiden Murnane got in the way of it. Responsible for 3 cause turnovers back on Saturday. Just 1 so far.
It's going to be a slash hitting the head.
We've seen a little bit of that. Ball free. Syracuse stays with it. Jake Stevens picked up. Roa gears up. His shot blocked down by Lacombe, but a bittersweet stop for the Colgate side that's about to go a man down. Still, that's the 10th save for Lacombe. Let's hear the call.
Red number 9, 1 minute slash.
A 1-minute call, and again, it's on Charlie Lohman, who was guilty of that 2-minute violation earlier. Roughly the same spot in the field, also the same target. That was Christian Mule again.
Yeah, it's a slash any day of the week, and that frustrates coaches a lot. As a short stick D-middie, you're kind of taught, don't slash, don't throw stick checks, just not worth it. Play with your body, but there, just kind of gets a little bit reckless.
Syracuse passes in close, but sends it way away.
Spallina realized it right after. He's got to take another step upfield to give himself a better angle. Took that shot from almost GLE.
Hiltz sends it out up top. Kellogg, wow! You said it earlier, Adam, 115-mile-per-hour shot. He can rip it.
I don't think I ever saw that ball. I mean, that just went teleported from his stick into the back of the net. First off, just a great find here from Owen Hiltz, and then guys, here's the feed from Hiltz. He realizes he has Kellogg wide open, and there it is, step up. The first couple shots for Kellogg in this game, he just hasn't fully been able to elevate, but does it here. Low to high, there's nothing the goalie can do about that, just too strong of a shot.
First goal of the game, second of the season for Kellogg. That had a lot of power to it. You're right, he took it from right around his hip and moved it up top. That's not an easy thing to do. That man is a freshman. Syracuse has 4 years of that. And with Pat March as his offensive coordinator, there's a good amount of room for him to improve an already stellar string. Syracuse scored first in the first quarter. Colgate scored first in the second. The first goal of this third quarter goes for the Orange. Syracuse plays it close but sends it away. Throughout those first 5 goals for the Orange, a lot of those passes came from right behind cage up the middle. Colgate is shored up in front of the net now. Flag on the field. This one against Syracuse. Looks to be an off-ball move. There's the whistle.
Not sure what that flag is. It's not going to be an offside, doesn't look like. Syracuse had just 6 men forward.
He's holding off ball.
What happened after it is
Right, 2-3, interference, 30-second technical.
Rarely see that called in this sport.
Interference called. You could hear Gary Gate arguing off in the background. An interference call way off the play. Finn Thomson, the guilty party on that. Scored 1 goal. Now he's off to the penalty area. Hunkered down on one knee. And Gary's still arguing.
Yeah, because Thomson was just going back and forth. And, you know, I don't know if that's necessarily an interference because both guys are going at it.
Well, like you said, it's a rare call. It's tough to find the right moment for it. Colgate in front, can't find the right footing. The ball jumped out of the stick. Will Mark comes to his defense's aid. Up the middle, Syracuse moving out with it. Nick Frederigo. First time we've seen him in this one. Ball skipped away. Syracuse again with it. Sam English. Colgate going a man down after that flag. Looks to be against Rory Connor.
Red, number 1, 30 seconds with a hold.
So that's actually Max Yates going off to the box. And watch one right around English. Held up at the end of that play, it looks like.
I think they're saying that it's just because his stick was in between the elbow. Big chance here for Syracuse to get the lead back to 5.
The Orange, a man up for the next 25 seconds. Owen Hiltz snakes behind, feeds up top. The shot misses wide again. That was Tucker Kellogg on the rip. Syracuse has already scored 1 goal on the man up in this game.
Sam Erickson's the defender on the top of the box where Kellogg is. He's got to not cheat as much down low because Kellogg has way too much room to get that shot off.
You can't give somebody with that kind of shot a lot of space. Finn Thomson misses way wide, and he didn't have a lot of room. That was a very hurried shot as Sam Erickson was right in the area. Owen Hiltz, he scored the game's first goal. Doesn't get an assist there. Matt Kohn comes up strong again. This is a different man than we saw in the first 5 minutes of the game when he let up 5 goals on 6 shots. Since then, 9 saves, 5 goals allowed.
Coach Carwick said that what makes him such a special player is his poise and confidence. Doesn't let that slow start get into his head, just continues to play his game. He knows that he has all the skill in the world to stop any shot. Now he's doing it.
Colgate moves out of a stack in front, still keeping it wide. Michael Minicus, he has 1 assist in this game. He shovels it behind, but Mark saw it all the way. Mark still stranded outside of the cage, but eventually Syracuse gets back at it. Landon Clary on the ground ball pickup. Billy Drouin sends it up. Matt Wright fires over center. Here's Christian Mule. He's still searching for his first goal in this one after a hat trick on Saturday. Mule responsible for a pair of assists.
Colgate has done a great job ever since the start of the game of not committing too much on the 10-man ride, making sure that there's men back there so that Syracuse doesn't have an open net.
Feed in front and another score. Owen Hiltz back on the board. He opened up the scoring early on in this one, and now he's back. Syracuse fittingly back to a 5-goal lead after Hiltz's opening goal started a 5-goal run.
Yeah, almost identical to that first goal too. Hiltz with the cut and then the nice finish there. That's not just a classic finish. He kind of moves his stick over to get it past the goalie in Lacombe. He doesn't just catch and shoot. That's a really nice finish. A lot better than it initially looks.
Joey Spallina had the assist on Hiltz's goal. That's 7 points in back-to-back games for Joey Spallina, the first time in his career. So double 7 for Spallina, double 7 on the goal in Owen Hiltz. And Mason Kohn fast out of the draw again. Hiltz tries for another. Oh, he got it! A hat trick. 2 goals just like that. Cardiac Cuse causing a heart attack on the Colgate side. Owen Hiltz with a rip. Mason Kohn fresh off the draw with the assist.
It's all because of Mason Kohn, the D3 face-off player of the year at Tufts last season. He didn't play lacrosse for 2 straight years, was a hockey-only player for the Jumbos, then switched back to lacrosse, dominated at the D3 level, and has just been having his way here at Syracuse. And what makes him so good, what makes him special, is that he can pass just as good as your non-Fogos.
Turned it up from D3 play at Tufts. Tried to find Hiltz in that same spot, but the pass was just a little bit too high. Hiltz scored those goals within 6 seconds of each other.
The second time today Syracuse has had 2 under 10 seconds.
That's right. The end of that 5-0 run to open up the game was 2 goals in 8 seconds.
And that's just what the Orange did not have last year. It's that ability to strike multiple times within a short period of time, to make it a 4-goal to a 6-goal game. I mean, these are 2 entirely different ball games here. It's just what a start to this quarter it's been for Syracuse.
Colgate has yet to score in the 3rd quarter after leading the 2nd quarter. Well, Mark steps out of his crease for that. Hangs around in the goalie's circle, but that was assertive play between the pipes, or rather, jumping out from between the pipes. Hoddle races up the near side. There was an open net for Hiltz for a moment there. Joey Spallina misses wide. Weirdly enough, Spallina has been scoreless as far as goals since the first half. Seems like he's the biggest fire starter for Syracuse. 3 goals, 4 assists in back-to-back games.
Yeah, just 3 goals on 9 shots for Spallina. He's just struggling to find the cage. A lot of his shots missing wide.
The Orange move around the far side. Shot from up top. Angled out the end line. Luke Roa had the attempt there. He's searching for his first goal of the game.
Yeah, he's had a really quiet day so far. Had the hat trick in the opener. I love Luke Roa's game. I think that he has a potential to be one of the best midfielders in the country. Just kind of a slow start today, though.
Max Yates with the ground ball pickup. Long stick midfielder. We've seen him try his hand at offense a little bit in this game, but there he comes up strong in his natural habitat. Donnie Tedesco with the ball. Colgate moving around, but that just escapes Griffin Walker. Recorded his first career point with a goal in the first half. There you go, Rory Connor has his hat trick. Colgate nabs its first goal of the second half and closes the gap back to 5.
That's how you bounce back after a Syracuse run. I mean, just how about that shot? Perfect placement on the right pipe.
So Colgate answers back, but Syracuse still leads by 5. Keep it tuned in to ACC Network Extra. It's been Owen Hiltz's game of late. Syracuse up by 5. His hat trick a big reason. There's goal number 1. He kept it tuned in the second half after opening up the scoring. Hiltz with the rip on the assist there, but watched for the goals. He has just been a demon in front of the net, and here was possibly his filthiest shot of the game off the assist 6 seconds after he scored earlier. So Owen Hiltz, someone who's always on Tewaaraton watch list like he was a season ago. 5 points in this game, 2 goals in this 3rd quarter.
It's hard to find a player with the skill set of Owen Hiltz because he's got one of the best finishes in front in the country. He has that box lacrosse background as the Canadian, but then also a sharpshooter from outside, and then his vision is better than almost anyone else.
Well, Hiltz is camped out at his same spot here, but this time Kohn goes in front, and there's Syracuse scores. Christian Mule on the board for the first time in this one. Already had a pair of assists. Mule adds on to his hat-trick performance from Saturday with his first goal here on Monday.
And now the Orange are rolling, and it's all because of what Mason Kohn has done on the X. You saw it earlier with the pass to Owen Hiltz. You see it here, him finding Christian Mule, and then a really nice finish there. It's not the greatest pass in the world, but Mule was able to contort the stick in a way where he's able to get the shot past Matt Lacombe. And, you know, you said it, Christian Mule finally gets on the board today. He had 3 in the first game, and, you know, he's finally starting to find his own here in game number 2.
And that's the second time this quarter that Syracuse has scored directly off the draw. Mule, of course, played earlier with Cole Kirst, who was a grad transfer for Syracuse last season, who ended up being very productive, leading the team in plenty of categories back in Lehigh. So he already had that Orange intuition from watching his former teammate play here in the Dome. Now he fills his shoes pretty well. Cole Kirst now in the PLL with the Redwoods.
Yeah, Mule has that connection to Syracuse. Played for Team 91 growing up with Joey Spallina. Also, Brennan O'Neill played for them as well. You know, Team 91 has put so many incredible players to the next level, and we just see 2 of them here on the Syracuse attack.
Mikey Leo, an incredible shot. Rips it to the top shelf, and Syracuse earns its largest lead of the night, up to 7, just like Mikey Leo's number. And watch this again. So Joey Spallina quarterbacks the offense from behind the cage like he has all game. Mikey Leo sends it.
That's just a snipe into the top left corner. Absolutely perfect placement from Michael Leo.
3rd goal this season, 2nd of the game. Remember, his first goal way back in the first quarter came from straight away, moves out to an angle here, and goes across the goal to the left corner. Mason Kohn tied up at X. Kyle Rummel, the face-off specialist, in for Colgate now. Rummel went 2 of 8 in Saturday's win. That ball trickles out the end line and goes back to the Raiders. Colgate plays long toss to the far side of field. Mule tried to strip the ball away, but Eldridge hung on. Eldridge hounded by Jake Spallina. Jake Spallina, obviously the brother of Joey. We talked about him earlier. He and his other brother, Brett, both on the defensive side for Syracuse, while Joey has been so explosive on offense. 7 goals in the opener on 7 points in the opener on Saturday, 8 of them here today. 3 goals, 5 assists. Minicus, marked by Jake Spallina, moves out Rory Connor with a hat trick. Jack Turner goes back to the top shelf for his 2nd goal of the game. His first one came in the 2nd quarter, way closer to the net. This time he moves out a few yards and makes it count.
Well, I said it was a snipe by Michael Leo. How about this one? It's almost impossible to beat Will Mark High sometimes. He's such a big goalie. He takes up so much of the cage, but the low to high, the deceiving kind of shoulder drop there from Jack Turner. I mean, he has just put on one heck of a performance today. He's had a couple really special goals. We've seen so many special goals in this game so far.
Turner came in as a highly anticipated prospect for Colgate. 89th best recruit in the nation, 4-star for Colgate. That was right at the beginning of Matt Carwick's career with the Raiders, just his 2nd recruiting class. Shoulder off to the sideline. And that gives the ball right back to Colgate. Syracuse attacks 4 players around the ball carrier. Finn Thomson picks up. This has been the big battle. Right around the center line. A lot of physicality And every now and then we've seen one Colgate player act as the gazelle in the wild, and Syracuse, the pride of Lions. Michael Leo sends it behind. Spallina coordinates up top. Finn Thomson off the post, his second time ringing the iron in this game. Finn Thomson has come oh so close plenty of times. He does have one goal already. Syracuse stifled in front. Colgate hooks up in the crease. Flag on the play. Kohn covered the ball up. The whistle blew after the Colgate possession.
Red, 1-5, / 1 minute. Reset the shot clock.
So Ryan Bolello, the sophomore, heads off with the penalty. Came in the slot there while the ball was dribbling around on the turf.
Yeah, I think that's on the hit on Hiltz's leg. I mean, that's gotta hurt really bad. Just hit Hiltz right on the right foot. They called it a slash, could have been a trip as well. I mean, talk about a trooper and Owen Hiltz to stay out there, because that's just hitting straight bone. That's one of the plays that hurts the most.
Well, remember, he missed the 2023 season with a leg. He missed the 2022 season with a leg injury. Syracuse answers right back. Joey Spallina from goal line extended. The Orange elevate back to a 7-goal lead. This was a 3-goal margin at the half. We talked about how Colgate has been yo-yoing back and forth, going down 5-0 to start and inching back into the game. Well, Syracuse has just jumped out in a big way in the second half.
And Joey Spallina is playing like he's got something to prove. 7 goals in the opener, 9 goals tonight. All the conversation preseason around the Tewaaraton was, who was it going to be? Was it going to be one of the, Connor Schellenberger? Was it going to be, one of the Duke guys? Or who is it going to be? No one was talking about Joey Spallina, but he's already got 16 points on the season, and we haven't even reached the fourth quarter in game number 2.
That's right. Spallina, 7 points back on Saturday, 9 today, 4 goals for Spallina. He's tied his career high in points with 9. He's building something special in this one. Again, Syracuse historically has been very good against unranked non-conference opponents when playing at home. Ironically, the last time Syracuse lost to an unranked non-conference opponent in the Dome was Colgate back in 2019. Last time Syracuse lost to an unranked non-conference opponent on the road was 2 years ago, 14-12 to UAlbany.
Matt Carwick made sure to mention to us that that was one of the greatest moments of his life, beating Syracuse on the road.
Syracuse playing in close. Carwick's done that before when he was an assistant at Notre Dame. He also played for the Fighting Irish. And Syracuse home run swings that a little too high. Went right up into, I'd say, the left field stands.
There's no balls.
Off to the right, yeah, it's short porch at Yankee Stadium.
There's no balls behind the end line, so Spallina had to run around and find one.
Well, there's only 2.5 minutes left in the quarter. How many times will you have to go after one the rest of the way? The Syracuse hanging on offense, maybe it's a lot. That skips away. Colgate picks up, moving out. Patty Eldred settles up. Comes John Carabine. Up the gut, he sends it back. Eldridge lets it drop, but stays with it. The Massachusetts native snakes his way center, but Syracuse swarms him. Chuck Kuczynski on the Collins turnover and ground ball pickup there. Rather, that was Nick Kakemo stepping up for the Orange, back on the defensive end. Jake Stevens takes his time at that left wing. We've seen a lot of Stevens in this game. He scored a goal early on, but since then he's done a lot of coordinating and barking out orders to his teammates, setting up a very set-piece offense for Syracuse.
It's what makes Jake Stevens so special, the little things, how he performs on the face-off wing, the fact that you don't necessarily have to sub him out if he's stuck on defense.
Well, hey, he's an Ivy League man. He's got that smart set of skills. Wound up getting him to Princeton. Now here for a grad year at Syracuse. There's John Mullen. Just saw him a moment ago. rather Sam English, his Princeton teammate, Syracuse teammate now, as they both transferred over.
2 top transfers in the country.
It's a big gain for Gary Gates' crew. Finn Thomson, are you serious? Michael Leo had the no-look assist. Colgate entirely lost. Syracuse doubles up Gate, 16-8.
With all of the focus on Joey Spallina, people forget about these 2 sophomores. Michael Leo and Finn Thomson, 2 of the best players in the class of 2022. If Spallina wasn't on this team, people would be talking about this pair as the best freshman pair in the country. And it's because of just the chemistry that they have, that behind-the-back pass, the incredible finish. I mean, Kohn didn't even move on that shot.
Every time that Syracuse and Colgate have met up in a sport this year, it's been a different story. Men's basketball, the Orange engineered that 24-point comeback to beat the Raiders. First win in 3 seasons there. Women's ice hockey, it's been a couple of big shutouts for the Colgate women's squad on top. This time, Syracuse dominating in a big way. Mason Kohn adds his first goal in Orange and his first goal at the D1 level. A Colgate team that was riding the high of winning the second quarter now looks utterly lost, just 45 miles from home.
I said it earlier, what makes Mason Kohn such an elite player is not just that he wins faceoffs, it's what he does after that, the stick control, and how about that shot to bounce it past the keeper in Matt Lacombe.
Kohn receives some high praise sitting there on the bench and gets a well-earned break from the face-off X. Matt Karweck not quite as happy as Mason Kohn at the moment. This game was well within reach at the beginning of this third quarter. It was a 3-goal deficit. Colgate had the momentum. Syracuse now up by 9. Kohn was the D3 face-off specialist of the year at Tufts last season. It's been a strong start in Division I play. Just as a face-off man, Kohn in this game, 16 of 20 on the season, 32 of 54. He's winning the vast majority of his draws in the first 2 games. Time expires on the third quarter. A late check there, but no call. Syracuse has been on top the entire way. Gary Gates' expression won't tell you a thing. He was as business as usual as you can be, but Owen Hiltz, Finn Thomson, everyone else right on top. 9-goal lead for the Orange.
Team that the Orange don't play, well, Colgate beat them.
So that does tell you a lot about A, how this season could look, B, about Gary Gates' mentality. You set up your own schedule. You pick who you play, and he said, I want the best you got. Of course, a lot of that talent rests in the ACC, so you'd see him no matter what. That includes Notre Dame, Virginia, UNC, and Duke. The other 4 teams in the 5-team conference.
It's about building up your RPI. Syracuse has been hurt over the past couple years, especially last year, by playing a couple easy games at the start of the season that really haunted them towards the end. The RPI is what gets you in the tournament in college lacrosse, and of course in the ACC, no automatic qualifiers, so you can only be in as an at-large, and that RPI is the only thing that'll get you in.
Remember, Gary Gates' first career win with the Syracuse men's team was a 28-5 beatdown of Holy Cross right here. Raised a lot of hopes, but Syracuse then went on to endure its first double-digit loss season ever. Landon Clary in some pain on the far sideline. Definitely something with his leg. Clary, someone who has been a key part of that defensive unit for Syracuse over his tenure.
Red, 14, unnecessary roughness, 1 minute.
So Colgate going a man down for a minute. Liam Connor, unnecessary roughness, the call. That's Jack Turner at the end of that play, at the beginning of that play, Liam Connor with the hit at the very end.
Yeah, and you see Clary grab his right knee after that. This is really a heartbreaking injury for Syracuse. I said it earlier in that Landon Clary is the heartbeat of this team, coming over from the John Desco era. He's a guy who's played LSM, he's played close D, now is a short stick, and Syracuse has already had an injury at this position this season with Max Rosa falling before the season even started.
Syracuse definitely in need of all their players being healthy. Some news and notes from around the country. Denver comes out on top in overtime over Johns Hopkins. A big upset there. Number 13 team in the country takes down number 5, Maryland and Richmond. Another overtime game. Double OT there. Maryland comes out on top. You hear some applause in the background. Landon Clary being helped to his feet, which is a good sight to see. Unfortunately, not really putting a lot of pressure on, I think that's it's his right leg that he's favoring. Yeah, you see him waving that ankle up there. But being helped by Nick Kakemo on his right and Billy Drouin on his left.
Yeah, and you know, there is a foul on this play. It was a hard hit, but it looks like it's almost a non-contact type of injury because it's his knee that he's holding. It's that right leg that's hurt. He kind of fell awkwardly. And you love to see this crowd on their feet because Clary is really one of the most important players for this locker room.
Clary, a redshirt junior. He redshirted in 2021 after another season-ending injury, or a season-ending injury. We hope this one is not the same. He also missed some time in 2022 as a result of that same injury then. Syracuse, a man up for the next minute, moves on with the ball. Owen Hiltz, he's got his career high in goals for a game with that hat trick. Tucker Kellogg had it up high, but Matt Lacombe stood up tall to the shot. Colgate cycles out, but Syracuse jumps the ball back to the ground. A man down. The Raiders jump out. That missed pass in front led to a lot of contact. Jack Turner put both palms out to the referee, asking what the decision was there. A flag on the play. Colgate restarts.
I thought they were going to call a flag there on Billy Drouin for the hit, but gets away with it.
Rory Connor with a hat trick under his belt already in this game. Moves out behind his own net. Billy Drouin, the one marking him, joined by Riley Figueres. Connor penned himself into a corner but escapes.
Great recovery there by Figueres. Right when the man down ends, run right back to the crease, pick up the man. It's perfect.
You saw Ryan Favaro move out wearing number 44. Colgate comes through, strikes its first goal of the fourth quarter. Jacob Sposita has his second goal of the season, 15th of his career. It's a long road back to even, but every journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Colgate down just 8 now.
That's just a great look and a great find from Rory Connor. See, he just barely picks his head up at the last second as a man wide open in front of the goal. It's a great finish. Nothing Will Mark can do about it.
Chip away, boys. Let's go.
Colgate trying to lift its spirits. Ryan Favaro ran in at the end of that last play. The sophomore attack out of British Columbia out on the west coast of Canada. Swarmed in there after giving a motivational speech to his teammates between quarters, firing them up before giving way to his head coach, Matt Krulik. Syracuse in close, trying to undo any of the momentum and motivation that Favaro's speech and that latest goal would have done.
Two flags down.
Obviously, Max Gates, an off-ball check. Whether it was a matter of mistaken identity, thinking he had the ball carrier or who was about to get the ball, or pure unrelenting aggression, That's a penalty.
Syracuse is going to go 2 men up at the next dead ball. It'll be 10 penalties on Colgate. Just with how physical this game is and it being an 8-goal game, you wonder at what point does Gary Gage just try and take those starters out, keep them healthy, because we have seen some really hard hits over the past couple of minutes.
They moved through a lot of players in the opener. Referee is meeting for that call now. Syracuse about to go back on the man up.
Red 1-6 / 1 minute. Red 1 unnecessary roughness, 1 minute. Reset the shot clock.
So Sam Erickson, number 16, and Max Gates, number 1, both taking a knee in the penalty area. Both of them Connecticut natives. Gates out of Fairfield, Erickson out of Darien, both near New York City. That was the physical kind of play that you might see on the New York Atlas, except on the ball carrier.
Yeah, this isn't box lacrosse. It's not like where you can just go ham whenever there's a pick thrown. You can't just run right through them like that.
Syracuse nearly ran right through Colgate. Joey Spallina with a rare miss. Would have tied his career high in goals at 5. Would have given him his career high in points at 10. Flag on the field, so Syracuse about to have 1 man go off to the penalty area. Diving shot from Hunter Drouin ends up out the end line. So we'll wait for the call now, but Drouin that close to his 2nd goal of the game.
Yeah, this is going to be a late hit on Matt Wright. And this is just kind of what my worry was at that last penalty. This is getting a really physical game, and it just boils up and boils up.
One's got 1 minute unnecessary roughness.
Yeah,
51, 1 unnecessary.
Another unnecessary roughness. This game can start to get a little bit out of hand. It's a payback hit here from Matt Wright. You just saw your teammate get blown up, and so you're going to say, hey, don't do this. I'm going to show you why not do it. But then it just continues to happen.
And it's the 3rd penalty on Matt Wright of this game. So there's a little bit of a learning curve here for the grad student, transferred in from UNC. Wright had a great lacrosse education. He was trained by Brody Merrill, one of the most prolific players in MLL and NLL history. Spent a lot of time in recent years with a really strong San Diego SEALs squad, being the captain of that team. But maybe there's something lost in translation there. Aggression as opposed to intensity.
Yeah, this Syracuse team is going to have to kind of learn how to tone it back sometimes in situations like this. Penalties right now aren't going to hurt you when you're up by 8, but in a close game, you can't lose your cool.
Well, any way that Syracuse can waste some time like the Orange are doing right here, really helps him out with this 8-goal lead. Colgate sneaks in close. Sidewinding shot, and Mark hung up against the post and knocked it out of there. Liam Connor scored the game winner on Saturday. He's already scored a goal with an assist in this one. Syracuse calls timeout to work things over. Colgate, Manhattan games to ramp up to that top-tier competition. But here they need to be as top-ranked as they can be with 17 seconds left on the man down. Still, an 8-goal lead is, well, pretty comfortable. Jesse Cook and Adam Gotkin also getting comfortable up here in the broadcast booth, a good 20 yards above the field. This has been high intensity and very uncomfortable of late with lots of physicality. Rory Connor missed on the shot there. 3 goals on the day for him. His brother has 1. That shot blocked by Friendly, fire in front. Connor wasn't looking and Drouin's rip hit him. Rather, that was Ben Trumble in the way. A scrum over the loose ball. Syracuse scoops it up. On the near side, moving out, that was Riley Figueres. Saam Olexo with 1 goal already launches that into the 2nd row of the stands.
Not sure what the goal was with that. I don't know if I've ever really seen that before. Right as he gets hit, just kind of gets rid of the ball, almost like it was rugby.
Well, he had Joey Spallina up the near sideline. Looks like he just let go of the ball a little too early. Probably a big part of suffering that contact. Under 10 minutes to go, Syracuse up by 8. Colgate really needs to turn on the Jets here back at even strength if the Raiders want a chance at coming back. It was 5-0 to open up the gates early. Colgate answered back, brought it to a 2-goal margin. But since then, no luck. Stumbling over the stick, shot in front, hits the post. Colin Ruppenstein came close, but had some bright orange markers in his way. Hunter Drouin scored Colgate's first goal, ripped 4 of them on Saturday. That dancing pass was intercepted in close. Saam Olexo, rather Nick Kakemo, got in the way. Rory Connor flips back to no one. Matt Wright taps the ball down. Fresh out of the penalty area after his 3rd time going off. Colgate up the gut, overhand shot, misses wide. Max Yates has been very active on both sides of the field. We've seen the long stick get aggressive on defense and take already a couple shots. And Connor stumbled and had to reset. Favaro switches over to his right and quickly shuffled off to the near side. Colgate creeps in close and misses again. That's 3 shots off the mark in the span of the last minute and a half for Colgate. Rory Connor behind cage, marked by Jake Spallina. Crosses out behind Drouin. Geared up for the shot way too early. Recovers, but Billy Drouin, what a tackle there.
Yeah, Billy Drouin, just in 2 games this season, is already becoming one of my favorite pulls to watch in the country. Just the way that he plays, diving at everything. It's so fun.
Jacob Sposita's shot misses wide. Colgate, after Billy Drouin knocked the ball free, got that fresh shot clock. Favaro, roulette wheels in front, but Syracuse stops the table. No payout for Colgate. The Orange move back right to left. Carter Rice, he scored his first goal of the season earlier.
The referee took a big tumble.
Well, that's an occupational hazard. It's bound to happen every now and then. You just hope they're all right. And he is. He's back up to his feet. Sam English out there. Scored 2 goals against Vermont in his debut with Syracuse after joining Jake Stevens and transferring over from Princeton. English, however, has been silent in this game. No goals, no assists.
Now this whole Syracuse midfield has kind of just struggled to find its way so far. English not having his greatest day. The second line also struggling at times.
Feed in front. Just misses. Owen Hiltz, that would have been his career high for a single game. Went for the flash and flare. Probably needed to because his left side was cut off, but just missed. Christian Mule, 1 goal, 2 assists in this game. Mikey Leo with the ball, 2 goals, 1 assist. Syracuse really just shutting the shot clock off. Already just about a minute going off of this shot clock. For Syracuse, it's tacked. For Colgate, it's wasted time. Hiltz tried it again, same process, same shot, same result. Just 14 on the shot clock now, so the Orange do have to hurry. Sam English across, Mule behind the back pass. Syracuse has got to go, 3 seconds. Hiltz misses way wide, and that runs out of time. Colgate ball, but at a certain point, Syracuse did win that possession. Used all 80 seconds and then some.
And a couple really good looks there. A couple nifty behind the backs. I thought there were about 2 or 3 times where it'd be a guaranteed goal, but just a couple inches wide of the post each time.
Michael Keeley had the ball there. He enjoyed some success as a high school student in New Hampshire in the state championship. Keeley off the field now. Colgate Going behind. Wraparound shot, no good. Will Mark has been elite in the latter half of this game. Just 3 goals allowed by the Syracuse grad student. Mark transferred in from Long Island University, where he was NEC Defensive Player of the Year before last season. Finished as a top 25 finalist for the Tewaaraton Award. Not often that you see goalies make that list. Played in the World Championships out in San Diego, close to his home for Team Puerto Rico. Was top 10 in goals against average and save percentage in that tournament, playing in more games than any other goalie. Mark, of course, has not had a whole lot of action in this second half. Colgate has missed on a lot of its shots on goal, or a lot of its shots going wide of the goal. And it helps that Syracuse has been milking the clock on the attack, spending another minute wasting time. This time Colgate is quick to the ball. Hunter Drouin holds on. But 4 minutes is not a great amount of time to answer back. We have seen Syracuse score back-to-back goals within 10 seconds on 2 occasions in this game, but Colgate needs a lot of that to climb the mountain. Jacob Sposita with a move. Crossed up his opponent, but couldn't find enough room. Turner has 2 goals in this game. He cycles around the net. Minicus, not a lot of room. Ball free in front. Mark covers. And Adam, whatever Colgate takes out of this game, it was a competitive first half. The Raiders are halfway to tying their win total of last season of just 2 games. This is something where you can take positives into Patriot League play if you're the Raiders.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is better than any start that you could ever imagine. I think, of course, you think that you're going to win these games. You have the confidence, but pretty much everyone around the country penciled in 2 losses to start the season for Colgate. But to beat Penn State and to play a really competitive half against Syracuse says a lot about this Raiders team. And look, I mean, the Patriot League is going to be really special this year, and I think Colgate might have a chance to do some damage.
Syracuse does damage moving right to left. Joey Spallina, that's a dangerous shot. Wow! Matt Kohn comes up with the save. Spallina was one-on-one with the goaltender, and this time the 10-1.
Lacombe has just been incredible today. He's made save after save in spots where you think there's no chance that he stops it. One-on-ones, step-down shots with no one within 10 yards of the shooter.
That's true. He's allowed 17 goals, but he's made 17 saves. He's stopping a lot of shots. It's just one of those games where you spend so much time on your heels on the back end that they're gonna start piling through. And Syracuse has been scoring in runs. There have been moments, there have been long periods of time where Matt Lacombe has looked like the strongest player on the field.
Yeah, it feels like Syracuse should have like 21, 22 goals right now.
Well, they're building up to it. Michael Leo adds his 3rd. That's a hat trick for the sophomore. Syracuse back up to its largest lead of the evening at 9 goals, under 2 minutes to spare.
What makes this team so special is just the pure number of players who can strike out of nowhere. Just 1 goal for Michael Leo in the opener. Now he's got a hat trick today.
That assist goes to Owen Hiltz. That's 3 assists, 3 goals for Hiltz. Colgate calls timeout. Matt Kruick talking with his team. Syracuse, not a lot to discuss. There's Landon Cleary. He went down with an injury.
Official New York Cup. I feel like at some point they just got to make it a real thing where there's a little trophy, whoever wins the most in-state games, because it feels like there's kind of this tournament almost like you have in the Big 5 in Pennsylvania, Philly basketball. You need something like that here, I think.
Flags out there, maybe.
Technical push. 3-6 white, technical push.
There you go. That one called against Syracuse. A technical push against John Mullen. He had that great check earlier that freed up a ball from Johnny Hartzell, although it resulted in a penalty at the end of that play. Can't do that. Check from behind. But Adam, I like what you're saying about the New York Cup. Maybe they can work something like that out, although you do have the Kraus-Simmons Trophy. That's just Syracuse and Hobart, that's true. But that is probably the closest you can get to it right now. Syracuse, of course, won the Kraus-Simmons Trophy last year. Colgate comes through there. Ben Trumble nabs his first goal of the season. Ontario native, like many people in this game, played his high school ball at Culver Military Academy, just like Owen Hiltz, who has 6 points for Syracuse. And Trumble took it in plenty of space, plenty of room. Swift shot.
Starting to see some of the reserves on the field here for Syracuse, and just a miscommunication on the man down. Leaves a man wide open.
So Colgate capitalizes there. Syracuse still leads by 8. And going ahead for Syracuse, you mentioned the injury issues. No Max Rosa. We don't know the situation with Landon Clary, but anytime you have a brace around your leg, it's probably not too promising. So it's a scary sight for a Syracuse team that before the season had its biggest worries on the defensive end. You lose Dave Petramala as your defensive coordinator. Bring in someone entirely new in John Odierna. So a lot of question marks before the season that looked like they might have been answered against Vermont are opening back up because those midfielders and D-middies are suddenly dropping.
It's going to be really interesting to see what happens at that short stick defensive midi position. Do you see someone else, like Clary did, switch from the long pull to the short pull? I mean, you have so many talented LSMs. There's 3 of the best LSMs in the country on this team, with Steven Schmidt coming over from Mount St. Mary's, where he was all conference. And of course, we've talked so much about Matt Wright and Saam Olexo. Do you see one of those other guys make the switch? It's going to be interesting to see what Coach Gate does here.
Olexo made that opposite transition from an attacking player to the long stick midi. Syracuse, with just 5 seconds to spare, lifts the ball up to the roof and takes down Colgate 18-10. Still a couple seconds. Still a couple seconds to go. One late flag to work things out. But the orange tree holds up strong against the Raiders' onslaught. It looked like a close game back in the second quarter when Colgate cut the gap to just 2.
Fouls on red, 29, 1 minute unnecessary.
Syracuse comes out with the 8-goal win, at times moving up to a 9-goal deficit. Owen Hiltz, a hat trick, 3 assists. Joey Spallina ties his career high with 9 points. Syracuse comes out with a massive win, back-to-back W's to open up the season, both of them right here in the Dome.
Yeah, very impressive win here for the Orange to face adversity and to beat it. You know, you take the 5-goal lead, struggle, but then bounce back. That's huge for this team, with Maryland now just 2 games away.
Syracuse reaches for the sky and nearly reaches the roof here in the Dome. An 18-10 win, a massive offensive output with 9 goals in each half. Joey Spallina and Owen Hiltz, the 2 key players, both of them with more than 6 points. Spallina with 9. Syracuse takes down Colgate here on ACC Network Extra. Enjoy our post-game coverage. Thank you so much for watching.